the Crown Point Mill, and it's in Gold Hill, Nevada. It's a refinery and a processing plant. The history here, it didn't have a very long life in the later century. It was from 1932 to 1944 and 1977 to 1987. But it processed so much money for the Comstock, and it went all over the country. The hauntings here that we have found are voices, shadows, apparitions walking. It's intense in here, but it's very nice. It's not published a lot. It does have rich history prior to the 1900s for the Crown Point, which was, again, part of the Comstock, the Yellow Jacket, and the Donovan Mill. And Clay Mitchell, who owns it, is a phenomenal historian.
The pool is where it was?
Yes.
That was someone standing in the stairs.
Right.
And there was nothing on the stairs.
Okay, hold it there and let's try to get him. Can you show yourself again? We saw you right out between the large pulley. Can you come back and join us, please? You were right there in front of us. Can you please come back? We have a machine that'll help us to see you. And a little bit to the left. Can you come back? We just had a minute to see you. Did you work on these machines? This is a giant rock tumbler. Did you work with this tumbling machine?
Literally like walking. The movement is perfect for someone that's walking.
Chico, California is many things. Absolutely gorgeous, historically fascinating, and full of Old West charisma. Specters of the city's long and storied past are believed to still dwell in the many old buildings and graveyards of this old historic town. Some nights you can almost see and feel them. Their silent cries for justice, vengeance, or sympathy can almost be heard crying out over the long ages since their departure. Welcome to the Junction. This is where it all happens. This is where historic Haunted Chico starts its tours. The Junction is the gateway into Chico. It's situated at 9th and Main, Orville Ave, and Humboldt Road. In the 1800s, it was a vast, spacious intersection where a horse-drawn wagon could easily turn around amidst the chaos of scores of other wagons. The odd-shaped turnabout boasts a colorful history connected to the days of the bustling Wild West. We're in one of the locations at the junction, and this is one of the longest standing buildings here, and it was known as a brothel on top and also a saloon on bottom. So this is an exciting place, and there's some haunted stories connected to this building as well, connected to prostitution and actually to a woman by the name of Molly White. On dark, moonless nights, there have been many sightings of a young lady dressed in turn-of-the-century black mourning clothing. Some say they have caught a glimpse of the young woman entering certain downtown buildings, seemingly distressed and possibly even confused. Some brave souls have dared to approach the young lady to ask, "Are you okay?" Unfortunately, as soon as they utter the words or take a step towards her, the young woman disappears into a cloudy mist, around a dark corner, or simply into the dark of the night. Molly White poisoned her lover, Riley Straw. And this is a home that over the years people have said is allegedly haunted. So for many, many years, students that come to school at Chico State basically, move in here and they have some bizarre experiences. And I was able, over the years of hearing these stories to finally dig into what and if there was any tragedies that happened here, and I was able to uncover there was extremely crazy poisoning that happened in 1883, and the whole town was involved. And it's an amazing story, and this is the story I'm going to share with you on the historic haunted Chico tour of Molly White and Riley Straw. So it's kind of strange to be sitting here on the front porch, though the stories have, been told over 100 years practically about it being haunted. And I was the one who was uncovered why it's haunted. So I've been able to help some people shed some light on why they might have had haunted experiences here. They were relieved once they found out, what had happened. I don't know if relieved is the word, but it gave them an understanding of why some things may have been occurring. This is Harriet Music, located at the Junction. This is also known as the Junction Saloon, and it's been here since 1865. So back in the 1800s, this was known as a saloon for a long time, and then in 1883, it became a slaughterhouse. So down below are basements, and in those basements, they're really creepy. And apparently they've been closed up for quite a long time. So we got to go down today and take a look at those basements, and they've been closed up for a few years. We are in the oldest building in Chico standing since 1865. Oh my gosh, it's creepy being in here. Not everyone comes into the basement, and so basically we're in the basement of the Junction Saloon right now. Oh my gosh. There's chains and weird stuff down here. Oh my gosh, what's in there? Whoa. So this is the where the old butcher shop was. So they used to hang like meat down here. This is the site of Annie's Glen, and Annie's Glen is supposedly haunted by the ghost of a man by the name of Riley Straw. There used to be like the Chinese, the blacks, and the poor people of Chico were buried here, and a lot of them were buried in unmarked graves. Some of them had headstones, but most of them didn't. What the hell is that? Ah! Oh my god, I don't even know what that is. So, does anybody want to say anything to me or Zeus? Any of the spirits that are lost or mad that your graves have been basically lost or the creek is like basically flooded you over. It's a site of like graves, you know, in the late 1800s and early 1900s. I think it's amazing that people this day don't think about that stuff. My team, well, part of the team of Historic Heart of Chico. This is Hannah. This is Dakota, Sam, and Joel.
There's something here with us. Do you believe in God?
Do you believe in God?
We'd like to know who you are.
Tell me what your name is, because I'm getting a name, but I don't want to say it out loud. Yes?
What did it say?
Did it just say Tim?
This is pretty good. And repeat.
Remember, it walked towards you. It's at 9 now.
Towards me?
Yeah.
What, there's something on me?
Remember, it walked towards
What can you see in the camera? Hi. My partner just told me that he sees it spikes up to 9 on the meter on me. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Okay, let's go over here. Okay. What? Us two? There is 2 of us. Can you tell us your name? Steve? Did you hear Steve? If anyone is down here, please speak into this little blue box that my friend is holding.
Yeah, that's an old brick. This is an old wall.
What is that behind there? There's something back there, like another room.
It's underneath.
What's up here? Up here, right to your right.
This looks like it's been... What?
Up to your right.
Yeah, just...
Is there anyone else besides us 3 down here?
Yeah, just...
Is there anyone else?
Yeah, just...
Is there anyone else?
Yeah, just...
Is there any? If you have a name, now would be the time to tell us. If you have a story to tell, it'd be time to tell us now because we're going to wrap up in about 15 minutes. Wrap up in about 15 minutes. Wrap up in about 15 minutes.
In a region of Northern California known as the Delta sits the Locke Historical District, a small Chinese-built community that now stands as a National Historic Landmark. Built by 3 Chinese merchants in 1912, the town was originally known as Lockport, named after George Locke, who owned the land the town sits on. Today, very few descendants of the Chinese immigrants that built the town remain, while most have moved on to other communities. The town of Lockport grew to include bordellos, saloons, and gambling parlors. The Chinese immigrants that came to America to seek a better life were driven from the larger communities such as Seattle and Los Angeles through enforced suppression. Many settled in the marshlands of the Delta region. The Chinese began to construct the levee system that is still used today. They endured the hard labor for $1 an hour and felt safe from the racial violence of the big cities. The town later became known as Locke, and by the 1970s the town was run down and mostly abandoned until Chinese entrepreneurs purchased the town and pushed for its landmark status. It was the only way for this town to stay alive and prevent demolition of the now 100-year-old buildings. The Chinese philosopher Mo Tzu once said, "If from antiquity to the present and since the beginning of man, there are men who have seen the bodies of ghosts and spirits and heard their voices, How can we say that they do not exist? If none have heard them and none have seen them, then how can we say they do? We came to the town of Locke to possibly capture evidence of their existence. We bring our experience in the field along with some tools that may help us detect their presence. In the gambling hall, there are reports of unusual sounds, voices, even the sounds of card dealings. We can only imagine the energy this place endured during the early days. The excitement of winning a fortune or the disappointment of losing everything you had. The room is filled with history, as if time cared for this place. How much of that energy is still lingering in the form of spirits who have returned or who have stayed in the place that they have known so well? Like many, I am searching for proof, and I have joined this crew to document any evidence that may have shown that we are not alone.
I hear like him repeat the same thing, but I can't make it out. Right there.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'll go back.
I heard I have a gun.
Really?
Yeah, towards after your last sentence.
Do you know where we just were? Who are we speaking to? What was this building? Can you make the pod go off now? Are you guys tired? I know you're dead. I feel dead too. What is it like to be dead? Whisper? Does it hurt you if I speak loud? Do you have a message for me? What is it? Do you know Pai Gow poker? I used to deal Pai Gow. Yeah. I paid somebody $40,000. Yeah. It wasn't tile, it was regular Pai Gow. So it was a 2-card, wait a minute. A 5-card high hand and a 2-card low hand, right? So it was a 2-card, wait a minute. A 5-card high hand and a 2-card low hand, right? Oh, are you doing that? Can you say yes? Yes. Did he say I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Can you light them all? Wow, thank you. That was cool. You're welcome. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, listen. You guys are awesome. How are you? Are you actually touching it? Thank you. And thank you for saying you're welcome. That was awesome. Oh, are you doing that? Can you say yes? Yes. Did he say I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Can you light them all? Wow, thank you. That was cool. You're welcome. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, listen. You guys are awesome. How are you? Are you actually touching it? Thank you. And thank you for saying you're welcome. That was awesome.
The brother and sister, they were sleeping, and around 3 o'clock in the morning, the sister felt her bed shake, and it felt like an arm wrapped around her. And she thought, what's going on? Because the only other person in the room was her brother. So she turned around and looked, and she saw a woman just looking face to face. So she screamed, jumped out of bed. Her brother thought, what's going on? Someone's trying to kill my sister. No one else was in the room. Finally calmed her down. She thought, oh, I'm just, maybe I drank too much, I'm going crazy, whatever. Just seeing stuff. She gets back in bed. She left the bathroom light on. And she was laying right here. And the bed started shaking. And she kind of woke up, was startled awake, and looked, and there was an elderly gentleman in a suit looking at her, and he said, you might want to shut the light off.
So basically in 1851, this was founded by Mr. Leger. It was built under as a wood tent.
Well, it was built as a wood tent, and then but this was the courtroom and courthouse.
Correct.
So
for Calaveras County.
For Calaveras County, and then what year was it that he took it over and finished the?
I believe it was 1874 when he first founded it in 1851. It was Hotel de France. That's what he named it, and I believe it was 1874. That's when he named it Hotel Leger.
Okay. So. And so, like the owner said, where we're at, this could have been the courthouse itself. It's not for sure if it was the floor below us or up here, if this was the offices downstairs, but either or. But yeah, there's a lot of activity up here.
This is room 7, George's room. There's an experience from somebody who stated that they woke up one night from 3 knocks on the headboard. She went back to sleep, and then she heard it again, 3 knocks in the headboard. She tried waking up her partner. He was ignoring her, kept on ignoring her when she tried to get his attention. So she had the feeling like she was being pulled into the ghost realm because he couldn't recognize her. He didn't know she was really there.
So this is the room we stayed in, not the last time, but the time before. And we were kind of getting ready to leave in the morning, and this was like this. And we're just talking, and it goes up like that.
Literally, we watched it do that. It was like I was standing right where you're standing. Tammy was sitting right there on the bed doing her makeup, and we watched it completely flip, right in front of us.
And I guess lately there's been a rumor of a ghost cat, which has been seen in 11, the room we were just in, and then in this room. And it would make sense because if something came up from down here to flip it up, you would assume that it was a cat, because my cats do that all the time. So.
And I mean the room, the last time we were here, the room next door. Remember we had the K2 on the bed, and it just started going off. And then we put the REM pod up there. That started going off, but we weren't getting anything on the. We turned on the SB7, nothing, which I mean makes sense. I mean, you know, yeah. But it was like something was walking around on the foot of the bed.
And we had the K2 here, and it started going off. So we're like, oh, let's put the REM pod. So we put the REM pod there, and then it was just like periodically like going off. So maybe something was touching it, or I don't know.
It's like it was like something could have been.
But it was just like in this vicinity of the bed, and we weren't getting anything else other than that in here.
We've actually had rocks thrown at us in here.
Yeah, rocks thrown at us. There's like a lantern hanging in there. We left a recorder going and left the room, and you hear this big like clink on it, and we kind of tried to figure out where that was coming from, and we threw a rock at that, and it was exactly the same noise. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, typically we get the rocks thrown over here in this general area, so it could be coming from that way.
And there was a story, I'm not sure if it's exactly true, but this was part of the tunnel.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the access is actually back there.
Yeah, the access that went underneath the street, so to the, was it across the street to the other?
Yeah. And we get a lot of K2 hits in here, REM pod hits, good EVPs. And the feeling in here is usually a lot heavier and more negative. But lately it's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Maybe it kind of likes to bounce around.
The chair was there was a chair.
Yeah, they did.
Sitting over there. They took that away, but a lot of people
was it.
sit in there.
It's this one right here.
Yeah, they moved the chair,
we can
but
move it back.
you could have weird feelings over there as well.
We'll do that tonight.
Yeah,
we'll put the chair back and we'll sit in there
exactly.
and do.
Exactly.
We get rock stone from this direction too.
Well, it depends if it's their time or ours time. Who's the president right now? Yeah, in your time, not now.
There's something over there.
That was a rock.
Somebody story this.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody, huh?
And I mean, Jesus would have seen somebody coming in. He would have heard them when they came down the steps. That's crazy. Okay. We're getting rocks thrown at us.
Here goes something.
Okay, that's weird.
What?
I just wiped that and it looked like someone sat down there. See how dusty it is?
It does look like someone sat down just recently.
Hey, you
I might be fat, but I can still run.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, anybody sit on this chair that's out here?
Huh?
Anyone sit on this chair that's out here?
Is your light on? Alright, I'm back in.
Hey guys, I'm gonna throw a rock out here, just towards the wall, and see if that's what the noise was.
Okay. Hit it, throw it harder.
I'm throwing it pretty hard. Well, let me.
Throw it into here. Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Is that what it sounded like?
Yeah, the last one sounded
There's something. There's something over there.